Today's thought is, do not let people pull into their storm. Pull them into your peace. Good morning, students. Welcome back. I hope all of you are safe and fit at home, studying well and completing your work on time. This video is for the students of class 8th, subject English. And today in this video, we shall cover one poem of textbook, that is our Honeydew. This is our poem number 5 and the name of the poem is The Schoolboy. It is written by famous poet William Blake. This is my lecture number 1 of the same poem. This poem is taken from Honeydew book. Students, we shall cover this poem in one lecture only. So today in this video, we shall read the objectives, main key points about the poet and detailed explanation along with word meanings of the poem. After then we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned to you in lecture number 2 of chapter 11, that is the participle. Before start reading the poem, let me tell you about the poet first. William Blake was born on 28 November 1757 at London in England. He was famous poet, painter and printmaker. His famous works are Songs of Innocence and of Experience, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, The Four Zoas and Milton. He died on 12th August 1827 at the age of 69 at London in England. This was all about the poet. So let's see what are the main objectives of the poem. Number 1 is, students will be able to know the feeling of a boy that he had in school environment in academic area. Number 2 is to invoke among them the habit of reading literature. Number 3 is to develop the habit of enjoying poetry and rhyme. Number 4 is to enrich their English language. Number 5 is to encourage them to have a love for nature. Number 6 is to instill among students the aesthetic sense. So these were the main objectives of the poem. So let's see what are the main key points of the poem. A child is put in the school just as a bird put in the cage. Number 2, the parents should understand their child. Number 3, depriving the child of joy and freedom. Number 4, he is pleased to see the trees and the birds. So these were the main key points of the poem. To know about what is there in the poem, so let's see the introduction first. Some question arises. Do you like to go in school? Do you like to live your life in foundations? What makes you unhappy? What makes you happy? Or what makes the boy unhappy? Why does he compare himself to a bird that lives in a cage or a plant that withers when it should blossom? To know about it, let's read the introduction first. In this poem, the speaker is a schoolboy who loved to rise in summer morning when birds are singing on the trees. He is an unhappy child. His childhood is crushed in the name of learning and teaching. So this was the small, brief introduction of the poem. To know about what is there in the poem, let's read it in detail. So now let's read the poem in detail. See Stanza 1. I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree. Means the schoolboy says that he loves to rise in a summer morning. It is the time when the birds sing on every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylark sings with me. Here the skylark is a bird. Means the huntsman blows his horn far away. Means he makes way towards hunting and the skylark means bird sings with him. Oh, what sweet company! According to the poet, according to the schoolboy, it is his best company and he enjoys it very much. In the first stanza of the poem is all about the things which make the schoolboy happy. He likes the bird, love to rise in the morning and enjoy the activities which happen at that time. The morning time is the time of hope and inspiration, or you can say aspirations. Hence, humans as well as animals wake up in the pursuit of a goal. So now let's see the complete explanation of stanza 1. The schoolboy says that he loves to rise in a summer morning. It is a time when the birds sing on every tree. The huntsman blows his horn far away, that is, he makes way towards hunting. And the skylark means bird sings with him. According to the schoolboy, it is his best company and he enjoys it very much. Let's see stanza 2. But to go to school in a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. So here the meaning of drives means to take away. So in the stanza 2, the tone totally changes from delight, rejoicing and hope to dismay, joylessness. Means the schoolboy says that going to the school in the summer morning is something which takes away all his joy. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Here the meaning of sighing is sadness and dismay means distress. And the meaning of outworn is out of date or outdated, you can say. Means in the school, the students have to spend all their day under a teacher who in outdated fashion keeps an eye on schoolboys so that they may follow the rules and regulations strictly. Thus, the young ones, according to him, have to spend their day in distress and sadness. Or we can say that in the stanza 2, the stanza 2 describes the schoolboy's concern over the way school work. The children are kept under observation. Means the children are kept under strict observation and are forced to obey the rules which make their lives joyless. So now let's see the complete explanation of stanza 2. The schoolboy says that going to the school in the summer morning is something which takes away all his joy. In the school, the students have to spend all their day under a teacher who is outworn, means outdated. Fashion keeps an eye on the schoolboys so that they may follow the rules and regulations strictly. Thus, the young ones, according to him, have to spend their day in dismay means distress and sighing means sadness. So now let's read stanza 3. Then at times I dropping sit and spend many an anxious hour. Means the schoolboy here describes how he spends his day at the school. According to him, he often sits and spends a lot of time in boredom, means getting bored. Not in my book can I take delight. He does not find any joy or happiness in books, nor sit in learner's bower. So bower means a pleasant shady place. The schoolboy says that he does not feel any joy while sitting in learner's bower, means while sitting in a pleasant shady place. Warm though with the dreary shower, which according to him is worn through with the dairy shower. So here, learner's bower means a place where someone comes to learn, or we can say it can be school, university. Thus, learner bowers as per the schoolboy is damaged or has defect because it was hit by dairy shower. Dairy shower means with heavy rains, which is disastrous. However, when we try to relate dairy shower to the learner's bower, it means that the school's education system has been damaged or is defective. So why it is defective? It can be tracked in the previous stanza. A young student cannot learn under restrictions. He needs love, freedom, joy. But the cruel eye of the teachers and parents has destroyed the basic purpose of education. The students are forced to learn those things which make them capable of acquiring materialistic things. And for that, they have to give up all the things which would have otherwise made them a better human. So now let's see the complete explanation of stanza 3. The schoolboy here describes how he spends his day at the school. According to him, he often sits and spends a lot of time in boredom. Boredom means a state of feeling bored. He does not find any joy or happiness in books. The schoolboy says that he does not feel any joy while sitting in learner's bower. Bower means a shady place under the tree, which according to him is worn through with the dairy shower. However, the phrase learner's bower means a place where someone comes to learn. It can be school or university. Thus, learner's bower as per the schoolboy is damaged or has defect because it was hit by dairy shower. Dairy shower means heavy rain which is disastrous. However, when we try to relate dairy shower to the learner's bower, it means that the school's education system has been damaged or is defective. A young student cannot learn under restrictions. He needs love, freedom, joy. But the cruel eye of the teachers or parents has destroyed the basic purpose of education. The students are forced to learn those things which make them capable of acquiring materialistic things, and for that they have to give up all the things which would have otherwise made them a better human. Let's read stanza 4. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Means the schoolboy raises a number of rhetorical questions. First he asks, how can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Here he compares himself to a caged bird, and like the caged bird which is born to remain free, he too loses joy in the school which is a cage for him. Next, he asks, how can a child when fears annoy but drop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? Here he says that a child who is scared by teachers and parents cannot forget the joy of freedom when the latter keep their wings locked. Thus he remains joyless and longs for the freedom. So now let's see the complete explanation of stanza 4. The schoolboy raises a number of rhetorical questions. First he asks, how can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Here, he compares himself to a caged bird, and like a caged bird, means which is born to remain free. He too loses joy in the school, which is cage for him. Next, he asks, how can a child, when fears annoy, but drop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? Here, he says that a child who is scared by teachers and parents cannot forget the joy of freedom when the latter keep their wings locked. Thus, he remains joyless and longs for the freedom. So now let's read stanza 5. O father and mother, if buds are nibbed. So the meaning of nibbed is to nip something in the bud, is to stop or destroy it at early age of its development. And blossoms blown away. And if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day. Stripped of joy means if joy is taken away from plants by sorrow and care's dismay. In this stanza, in the fifth stanza, the boy complains to the highest authority, or we can say to father and mother. Means if a budding child is picked and swept off in the early age of life in an ocean of sorrow where there is no one to care for, if happiness crushed or crushes the sensitive plants, beautiful and the newborn buds, summer can never be joyful. So now let's see the complete explanation of stanza 5. In this stanza, he is in conversation with his parents. He says that if like a flower's buds, the child's freedom is snatched away and its flowers, that is joy, blown away, and if newly grown twigs, here the newly grown twigs means newly acquired joy by the child, are removed at the time of spring, that is when the child has started growing up, he, like the flower plant, will be left in sorrow and dismay. So let's read the final stanza, or we can say sixth stanza. How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? In the final stanza, it is continuous from previous stanza. According to the poet, how summer can be joyful when the buds of flowers are cut, the flowers threw away, and the twigs removed away. The fruit of summer would never appear. Thus, how the plants, means children, would be able to get the fruit which has been destroyed? How can the summer be a blessing when the blasts of winter appear? In the final stanza, or you can say the final stanza is metaphorical. The schoolboy compares the children to the spring plants which have been destroyed. According to him, like the flowers, the children too need freedom for efficient growth. If their freedom is snatched away and their joy buds are cut off because of schools, they will never be able to get properly educated or proper education and hence serve the society. The poem is thus a criticism on the way the schools impart education. So now let's see the complete explanation of final stanza. This stanza continues from the previous stanza. According to the poet, how summer can be joyful when the buds of flowers are cut, the flowers threw away and the twigs removed away. The fruit of summer would never appear. Thus, how the plants means children would be able to get the fruit which has been destroyed. How can the summer be a blessing when the blasts of winter appear? Or we can say, in the last stanza, he tries to make understand his parents that if a child is picked up and he cannot get proper care, then he could not grow in nature plant. Or you can say he cannot be mature. The parent should also understand their fault. Depriving means to take away the child of joy and freedom means a world without spring. In the absence of a happy child, we shall have a winter of sorrow. Means if you will snatch away all the happiness of a child, then the child cannot be grown up or the child cannot be grow up with the maturity. He will be remain same. So this was the complete poem. The final stanza is metaphorical. The boy compares the children to the spring plants which have been destroyed. According to him, like the flowers, the children too need freedom for efficient growth. If their freedom is snatched away and their joy buds are cut off because of schools, they will never be able to get properly educated or they will never get proper education and hence serve the society. The poem is thus a criticism on the way the schools impart education. So this was the complete poem. So now let's see the complete summary of the poem. Happy morning. The boy likes the morning. He is pleased to see the trees and the birds. The distant sound of the huntsman's horn is pleasant. He wants to sing with the skylark, means singing bird. In brief, the nature seems to offer a sweet company. Unhappy morning. However, his morning hours pass unhappily. He lives a worrisome. Worrisome means causing anxiety. Life in the school. Neither the books nor the teacher's lecture interest him. Childhood. The pleasure of childhood is in being free and happy like a bird. But a child is put in the school just as a bird is put in the cage. So the child is as unhappy as a caged bird. Here, the child couldn't even spend the time in the garden where he could learn many interesting things with the nature. The parents. The parents should understand their fault. Depriving means to take the child of joy and freedom, means depriving the world of its spring. It is like nipping the buds and flowers from the plants. The world is a sorrowful place without happy childhood. Or we can say the boy compares himself with a bird in a cage. A bird cannot sing sweet songs in a trapped cage. Similarly, a child can never enjoy the happiness under the umbrella of fear and tension. If a growing bud is picked and swept off in the early of its life where no one cares about it, how can it grow into a mature plant? So the same like the boy was feeling in the school. The summer of joy. In their absence of a happy childhood, we shall have winter of sorrow. The summer means heat of joy will never be there. The boy wonders how children can grow if they are not allowed to enjoy the summer. Means if their freedom is snatched away and their joy buds are cut off because of schools, they will never be able to get properly educated or proper education and hence serve the society. So, the poem is thus a criticism on the way the schools impart education. So, this was a complete summary of the poem. Students, you have to complete your homework on the basis of the poem explained by me. And your homework is read poem 5, that is The Schoolboy, and write word meanings highlighted in the video. Based on the understanding of the poem, write the answers of the questions mentioned in the book Honeydew as. Page number 85, working with the poem, question number 1 to 4. Students, you have to write word meaning in your notebook and you have to complete these question answers in your book only. Still many students are not having their book with them. So here in this video I have mentioned your homework in detail. So let's see working with the poem which is on page number 85. Question number 1 is find 3 or 4 words or phrases in stanza 1 that reflect the child's happiness and joy. Question number 2 is in stanza 2 the mood changes. Which words or phrases reflect the changed mood? Question number 3 is a cruel eye outworn. Outworn means out of date. Refers to, it is in stanza 2. Number 1, the classroom which is shabby or noisy. Number 2, the lessons which are difficult or uninteresting. Number 3, the dull or uninspiring life at school with lots of work and no play. Mark the answer that you consider right. Question number 4 is nor sit in learning's brower, worn through with the dreary shower. Which of the following is a close paraphrase of the lines above? Number 1, nor can I sit in a roofless classroom when it is raining. Number 2, nor can I learn anything at school though teachers go on lecturing and explaining. Nor can I sit in the school garden for fear of getting wet in the rain. So students, you have to complete your homework in your book only. Only you have to write down word meanings in your notebook. Now in this video, we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned to you in lecture number 2 of chapter 11, that is the participle. We have already discussed the meaning, types and uses and error in uses of participles in our videos. As I assigned you homework which was to be done by you on the basis of your understanding. And your homework was revise chapter 11, that is the participle, from the book or video, and based on the understanding of the topic, do exercises mentioned in the PC Ren's grammar book or book PC Ren's grammar as. Page number 60, exercise number 2. Page number 61, pair work. So let's discuss the exercises in detail. Let's see exercise number 2. Correct the following sentences. Number 1 is weary with traveling, the destination seemed 100 miles away. Answer is as he was weary with traveling, the destination seemed 100 miles away. Number 2 is having obtained information, he was arrested for complicity in the plot. Answer is this sentence is correct. Number 3. Resting in cool shelter, the hours were beguiled and desultory talk. Answer is while he was resting in cool shelter, the hours were beguiled with desultory talk. Number 4 is going up the hill, an old temple was seen. Answer is when we went up the hill, we saw an old temple. Number 5. The fog being very dense, nothing could be seen. Answer is the fog was very dense, so nothing could be seen. Number 6. Hoping to hear from you soon. Yours sincerely. Answer is, I sincerely hope to hear from you soon. Number 7. Calling upon him yesterday, he subscribed a handsome sum to the relief fund. Answer is, as I called upon him yesterday, he subscribed a handsome sum to the relief fund. So now let's see the pair work in detail. Combine the following pairs of sentences by making use of participles. Number 1 is, the porter opened the gate, we entered. Answer is, the porter having opened the gate, we entered. Number 2, we started early, we arrived at noon. Answer is, having started early, we arrived at noon. Number 3, we met a man, he was carrying a load of wood. Answer is, we met a man carrying a load of wood. Number 4, the stable door was open, the horse was stolen. Answer is, the stable door being open, the horse was stolen. Number 5 is, he seized his stick, he rushed to the door. Answer is, seizing his stick, he rushed to the door. Number 6. The hunter took up his gun. He went out to shoot. Answer is, having taken or taking up his gun, the hunter went out to shoot. Number 7. A crow stole a piece of cheese. She flew to her nest to enjoy the tasty meal. Answer is, stealing or having stolen a piece of bread, a crow flew to her nest to enjoy the tasty meal. Number 8. The wolf wished to pick a quarrel with the lamb. He said, how dare you make the water muddy? Answer is, the wolf wishing to pick up a quarrel with the lamb said, how dare you make the water muddy? Number 9 is, a passenger alighted from the train. He fell over a bag on the platform. Answer is, alighting from the train, a passenger fell over a bag on the platform. Number 10 is, Nanak met his brother in the street. He asked him where he was going. Answer is, having met his brother in the street, Nanak asked him where he was going. Number 11, my sister was charmed with the silk. She bought 10 yards. Answer is, being charmed with the silk, my sister bought 10 yards. Number 12, the steamer was delayed by a storm. She came into port a day late. Answer is, having been delayed by the storm, the steamer came into the port a day late. Number 13 is, he had resolved on a certain course. He acted with vigor. Answer is, having resolved on a certain course, he acted with vigor. Number 14, he staggered back. He sank to the ground. Answer is, staggering back, he sank to the ground. Number 15, the letter was badly written. I had great difficulty in making out its contents. Answer is, the letter having been badly written, I had great difficulty in making out its contents. Number 16, a hunger fox saw some bunches of grapes. They were hanging from a vine. Answer is, a hunger fox saw some bunches of grapes hanging from a vine. So this is the end of the lecture. Students, if you like our videos, then hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.